From 2019, when I joined, up until 2020, the beginning of COVID, I've had several photos, thousands of photos are taken in that 1 year space, right? So when I knew that I couldn't be coming to the office to document people's stories, as live as it was happening, what I did was I started to put all of these pictures that are taken in the past together, and some of them had written their stories, beforehand. So during that space, I post on my Instagram, I post on my WhatsApp things that had happened right before then and up to the time of the lockdown. Yeah, I took some pictures. There was like this transition. There were a lot of people in the office at 2019, 2020, January, February, and then March. I showed the transition between when people were coming to the office and the places where that used to be very filled up, like the UB Amphitheater, the conference rooms, and then I showed a picture where these rooms were just empty. So I placed those pictures side by side, and it was very strong. It hit me that a change, a shift had come. We had to adjust with that shift, because at that point during COVID, I was afraid. I had this fear, about there was so much uncertainty. We didn't know where we were going. At some point, I thought I was going to lose my job. And then when it was eased, when the lockdown was eased, and we had to come back to the office, so I just had this instinct, like someone just told me that I'm sure I was not the only one that was feeling this way, and I had not fully, should I say, recovered from that pause, from that lockdown. So I wanted to hear other people's stories about how they've been able to survive that period and how they've been able to move on. I had not been able to move on immediately, so I thought maybe if I hear some other people's stories, it will also help me to, move on, or transition properly from, pre-COVID to post-COVID, yeah. As a documentary photographer, it's something that we love to do, talk to random people. You might even not photograph them that day. Sometimes it's not even about having to take the pictures. It's having to sit down and have one-on-one conversations with strangers that you probably will not even see again, but you will learn one or two lessons, from them. So instead of going to the streets, I just thought, okay, why don't I just do it in the office and ask, our branch managers, ask our staff, how it was like for them, because we're all in the same shoes, right? So in that process, I started to put stuff down, decided to take it to the road. We had to go to some states, some cities. Also, Zena was also able to help me with these states, because we couldn't travel to all states because of there are still restrictions, here and there. So there was a guy, I can't remember what states now we met him, but he kept saying, I thought they were going to fire me. I thought they were going to fire me, but I just got the job then. But surprisingly, they were still paying my salary. They were still telling some of us to come to work. The essential workers, we still had to come. And I also remember Prince Ayewo, when I interviewed Prince Ayewo, he talked about the energy, within the CFC team, and he talked about how they were always looking out for one another. He said that UBA lodged them in hotels, people that had to come to the office and maybe stayed far away. They lodged them in hotels close to the office. And also within the department, people that maybe couldn't cook, other people, people in the department, they will cook from their own house and bring food to the office, and everybody will share, Also some of the janitors, in the office as well, they all kept saying the same thing. UBA, they're so supportive. The fact they gave us extra money, we were able to take care of our families. And I remember one lady that said that Roslyn or Rosemary or something. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, okay, the office is actually taking care of its people, and the fact that people did not lose their jobs, in that period, it showed that they understood what was going on, and people would like to know that there was somebody or an organization that was looking out for them, which I think UBA did great. So what I think UBA gained from people after post-COVID, well, I personally think that they gained people's loyalty to the brand, because people felt that they had a brand that cared about them, that showed up for them, that understood them, and in fact, I remember somebody was telling me that during the lockdown, some of their bosses and some other executives were calling some staff to find out how they were doing and if there was anything they could do to help them, and I mean, how many people do that, these days?
On the 26th of March 2020, United Bank for Africa PLC announced a donation of over 5 billion naira, equivalent of $14 million through the UBA Foundation to catalyze a comprehensive pan-African response to the fight against the coronavirus COVID-19 global pandemic. The donation will provide significant and much-needed support to Nigeria and 19 other African countries by supplying relief materials, critical care facilities, and financial support to governments.
COVID event of 2022 took the whole world by surprise. The impact was phenomenal. The financial resource requirement to curtail it is enormous. It is something that cannot be left alone to the government.
COVID happened to the whole world, and I can tell you that one of the greatest things that UBA did was to stand up and say we're supporting governments in terms of fighting COVID in Africa. And if I'm not wrong, UBA will be the first bank that would bring out a whopping sum of $14 million to share to countries where they operate to fight COVID. In Senegal, in particular, a total sum of 150 million CFA was given to the government.
The UBA Foundation also donated $150,000 to the government of Sierra Leone to curtail the negative impact of the COVID.
So our contribution helped the government in a way that they were able to provide, with particular reference to COVID, test kits that they could use to immediately detect people that had COVID for immediate treatment. It also helped in providing one essential gadget that was needed. That was oxygen machines to be able to help people that had severe cases. I want to say UBA set an example that will be very difficult to break in the near future.
What I also saw was the brand also showed support for people in the streets, as well. Sometimes when I go outside post-COVID to take pictures, around the marketplace, to take pictures of the building, so I'll be maybe wearing a UBA shirt. Someone will say, UBA, what try go on, say, don't put your hands up, it's UBA, I have accounts with you, I have 3 accounts, I have 4 accounts, so yeah, the brand gained people's love and loyalty. Hi, my name is Toby James. I'm the official photographer for United Bank for Africa, and I survived COVID.